I recently returned from Spiel Lesson 24 and have a few new games to play, but none of these have hit the table yet, so I instead thought I'd talk about something older, TOKAN, a two-player game released in 2022 by Stefan Mühlhauser under his Stefan Spiele brand. He sold this brand to Swiss company Helvetic in 2023, the year that he released Passo, co-designed by him and Clemente Musa. This was the game I loved most at Spiel Lesson 23. I wrote about it. You can read all about it there. How does TOKAN compare? Both of them are two-player only abstract strategy games with minimal components. Let me tell you how this works. TOKAN consists of 30 wooden tiles packed in a small bag inside a pretty small box because Mühlhauser liked to package things in as little space as possible. You have 15 red tiles, 15 black. I'll take the red, and I'll explain how to play after I set things up in a 5x6 grid. On a turn, you are going to move one of your pieces that is visible, possibly with tiles underneath it, and you are trying to end up in control of large stacks. Try to have the most pieces under your control at game's end. On a turn, choose one of your pieces, a mouse, a jackal, a lion. You move it exactly as many spaces as allowed by the rules. A mouse moves 1 space, a jackal 2, and a lion 3. So, on my first turn, you can move any of the pieces. Doesn't have to be an exterior piece, but let's say I start with a jackal, jump on top of your lion, and you respond. You could do the same thing, right? I do it, you do it as well. Or maybe you got something else in mind you want to do. Let's say, maybe you jump this lion over here. Now, when you jump and there are pieces behind you, those pieces slide in to fill the gap. Effectively, you are closing the door, right? It's got a wake you can think of, the tiles floating in. So it keeps pieces sort of compact, but not completely, because this one here is somewhat isolated. Piece cannot jump over a gap, so the only space that this can go is to jump onto this lion. So possibly on my turn, as a response to what you did, I jump my lion 3 spaces here. There's no pieces that follow, but now this jackal is stranded. This gap will not close. Okay. Good for me. Good move. Although, of course, now you can just jump on this with your lion. So, bad move, possibly. You're going to keep taking turns until no one can make a move anymore. You can jump onto your own spaces. That's sometimes helpful. I could jump here onto my own jackal. You can always look at what's underneath the tiles, because in the future, maybe you jump again, you can leave something behind, or possibly take it with you. A jackal can carry 1 tile with it. A lion can carry up to 2. And you might need to carry tiles with you in order to land on a higher space. So, for example, on your turn, this lion could go here, but it's at the same height, so that is not a legal move. But you could jump by carrying the piece that's underneath. You carry your prey with you, and now you move from a stack of 2 high to 3 high. This piece would slide over in its wake, and we're all set. Yeah, we've got a lot of black pieces showing, but not as many red. Don't like this. But I can plan to jump here, although you can respond immediately. So maybe I just leave this here now and plan for something else in the future. Maybe jump here on this jackal and prepare to jump on this lion, which is now stranded because a lion must move 3 spaces, and 3 spaces does not let you land on anything. So pieces can get stranded, unable to move as you continue play. Your turn. You've got a jackal that can counter if my mouse jumps up there. Maybe you're good with that. If I jump with my lion here, I've now stranded this. Possibly good, possibly not. I've got jackals all aiming at this lion. Can I do something? Well, let's say I jump here. You must jump on a turn. If possible, this mouse is going to be left behind unless you jump here and stack it. And you might want to do that because at game's end, if there's any single tiles on their own, they are worthless. You just ignore them. So this is nothing. This can still happen. Or, wait, you just went on your turn. If you end up going here on your next turn, you can take the 2 tiles with you, then both of these tiles would be stranded. So maybe I want to do something to prevent that, or at least counter what I think you're going to do. But I'm not sure whether I can at the moment, because you jump here, I've got nothing that's coming in. I can take these 2 and go here. Maybe you go ahead and jump, strand these pieces, taking somewhat random moves, not planning too far ahead. Again, must make a move if you can. This piece is now stuck. Can't jump anywhere. It's on its own. It is going to perish unless we do something to save it. So I will jump. If I jump this one first, this slides over. Now you go. Jackal onto here. Jackal onto here, but if you jump here, then I can follow. You jump here, then this will slide over and I can follow. I have not left you many good choices. So sorry about that. I can look and see if I jump with just the mouse, it's going on a higher platform, and you leave the jackal behind. That may be good for you because now you can jump there, although I can follow it. Let's say I go here. You come here, but I can just counter. Again, not leaving you great moves here. I jump. Maybe you jump. Sorry, I jump. You don't have many choices left. This can't jump anywhere. This can't jump. This can't jump. These are the only 2, but there's nowhere that this can jump that would be higher. This is the only space that's allowed, but even if you carry something, you can't do anything. So you go here, and we're almost done. You have done so poorly in this game. I'm so sorry. This can jump here, but then that will be revealed. Why don't I jump there first? Then you would jump there. So let me not do that. Let me instead, I will delay a turn. I will jump here. You must now jump. You have one of yours you can leave behind. Jump there. I must jump there at some point, but if I delay, let's see. I will just jump with this, leave this lion behind that can't move. This is the only legal play you have. I now jump and take this. Game is over. Can't move anything, so I will take the red stacks. You have the black stacks. These are single tiles. They are thrown away. And now you compare the total height. I have 16. You have 11. I'm afraid that I beat you, possibly because I did bad moves on your behalf. I played Token 5 times so far on a copy from the BGG store because, yes, we now sell some titles from Stefan Spiele in the BGG store. The company does not have a lot of distribution in the United States. We made a deal with them to pick up some titles and make them available, possibly a little more widely than they would normally be distributed, which I'm a fan of because I like abstract strategy games, as you could tell from my love of Paso in the earlier video. Now, Token, I've played 5 times, as I mentioned, and I have won one of those games. I lost the other 4 really badly. I have not been able to play this game well, which I find a little surprising because usually I'm fairly good at abstract strategy games, or at least I feel like I get a grasp of them. But this one so far has eluded me, possibly because you have the shifting nature of the tiles on the board when you leave gaps and how gaps get filled. Normally, perfect information abstract strategy games, you have a tree of movements of sorts. If I move here, here's how you can possibly respond from that point. If I move here, here's how you can respond. But the sliding of the tiles kind of escalates the possible movements and is a little harder for me to picture, right? You're trying to picture looking down on the board and trying to imagine where everything is moving, but now you've got things sliding in different ways, which affects what pieces are going to jump on. I'm finding it hard to keep all that straight in my mind. I love the style of the game because, again, perfect information, abstract strategy. The board shrinks over time, as in Paso, as in Dvan, my favorite Chris Berm game, where everything gets tighter over time, and you were essentially trying to strand pieces so that they become unusable. You eliminate a possible move, sometimes because you're moving a token, and sometimes because a token is sliding, and sometimes because you're creating a gap that something can't leap over. So there's all sorts of good elements in here. It just has eluded me how to play well, except with a fake opponent where I make all the moves for you, possibly poorly. So it's a neat, simple design you can pick up really quickly. Try to play better. There is a less random setup if you wish, if you don't like the idea of just flipping everything face down and turning them all over. I've had setups where it was like all the red pieces were around the perimeter and the black ones on the inside. I don't know if that makes a huge difference in terms of strategy or how a game plays out because, again, I played only 5 times. But you can, if you wish, take 5 red pieces, 5 black, shuffle them up face down, and then lay them out in 2 rows of 5. And then do that 2 more times, and so you'll get your 5x6 grid with an assortment of red and black in each pair of rows. So you can do that if you want. You can also play a variable game with scoring based on the value of the pieces that are revealed. Haven't tried that yet. Again, typically I prefer to learn the base game, play the base game, get a real understanding of the base game. There is no need to try a variant until I have some idea of what I'm doing with the original game. Why add complications? I want to understand this game, so I'll keep playing it and I'll see if I get any better. Or because we carry more Stefan Spiele titles in the BGG store, I can put this one aside and stop embarrassing myself and try something different. We'll see what I do in the future. But for now, you got an overview of Token, a fine predecessor to Paso. We'll see what else Stefan Spiele does in future videos. But you got some options here of good stuff to play.